Welcome to Down to Business. I'm Leo Johnson. Working with sustainable business is what I do. Since 2005, BBC viewers have been voting for their favourite businesses from the 72 World Challenge finalists. But are these pioneering ventures all making the most of their undoubted promise? So the BBC's asked me to pick 4 enterprises, understand the business model and figure out how they can deliver on their potential. Part of that plan? A one-off meeting here in London with a type of hard-headed banking and business types that might just be able to help them grow. But before that, I'm off to meet the entrepreneurs and help them come to grips with the type of tough questions they're going to have to answer to make it big with these potential investors and partners. In this edition of Down to Business, we visit my first 2 choices, 2 very different enterprises, taking us from an online venture in Copenhagen, Denmark, to an instant water heater designed in Scotland for Africa. I chose them because I think they're both potential game changers. 400 million people in Africa have no access to credit, often because they have no collateral with which to secure it. Small farmers, many of whom supply European supermarkets, find it hard to get the capital they need to grow.
In Uganda today, it has been a challenge for farmers to acquire loans. Most micro institutions that offer loans and banks say they never have anything tangible.
But among the many so-called microcredit initiatives is a new way of delivering investment. It's called MyC4. Last year, World Challenge featured Denmark's MyC4. Their idea, the eBay of social investing, cut out the middleman, use an online platform and peer-to-peer lending to get businesses the capital they need from people on the street. Simple, brilliant, unlocking capital for development. They get their money back and they're producing an environmental and a social return. But why isn't it growing faster? I'm here in Copenhagen to find out, to meet Kjaer, the founder, and to figure out what's really going on with his business model. Is it fit for growth? Are there issues we need to figure out before the big pitch in London? Using MyC4, an African entrepreneur can request a loan through one of the local microfinance institutions that are MyC4's partners. This institution would then send someone to check the basics of the business are sound before the loan request and details of the borrower are uploaded to the system. Then there's a wait while the system processes loan offers. Lenders add funds to their account using a debit or credit card. They can browse and choose a business to support, then bid to lend at their chosen interest rate. The system automatically combines the bids with the lowest rates into a single offer to the borrower. Successful lenders get their money back with interest over the loan period. Yeah, I want to start making some investments here.
This is Hunter's pub.
A pub.
This person already had a loan in this institution with the MFI.
So I'm getting out my credit card, Visa. All right, so lend, I just click on lend.
Yeah.
You can see the potential is enormous.
So while we've just been sitting here, 3 more investors have come in.
I mean, one thing I'm noticing in this is that the financial return is clear, but the social, the blended return of the social and the environmental, you're not bringing that forward. They could have, this is going to help create 3 jobs.
Yes, definitely.
With these demographics, this income, it will touch these number of people in the family. If you could show me this is a saving for this entrepreneur of 200 euros against what they would be getting from the loan sharks, then I could see the rationale again. I feel some sort of social impact thing that's bringing down my desire for financial impact.
It's so fantastic to hear that you come up with all the ideas, because this creates entrepreneur. Could it also do this? Could it also do this? Yes, but it needs a plan for it.
But is Mads the man for the plan? I got a question for you, which is in a way my big question for you. You've been the visionary CEO. You've put heart and soul into this, and what you've got now is something that's so big in its potential that to realize its full potential is going to consume you and your family and your finances for the next 5 years, the next 10 years, possibly more.
Definitely.
Have you got the stomach for that? If the business takes off, that's one thing. If it's 7 more years of grind, of sacrificing everything for this vision, Mads has got to think. So the real question is this: is this business going to be a hit? And what, if anything, is it missing? Trust is what's going to underpin this stuff at a time when the financial sector has lost so much trust. So I've now been accepted as part investor in the expansion of Hunter's Pub in Tanzania with a potential return of 14%. Great in theory. There's still risk for me and all my C4 lenders, a risk that the borrower won't repay, and a risk, even if they do, that the Tanzanian shilling will lose value and wipe out my investment. People love the concept of investing in Africa. Is that something that you would want to do and you get your money back?
Yeah, of course.
To help people
Yes,
is
yeah.
good.
But are they apprehensive about the prospect of losing money? What if there was some risk?
20 euros is not that much money, but people might go and ask, what is the risk with this?
You know, let's say maybe there's 10% risk.
That's too complicated.
One thing keeps coming through: risk. So what we need is a guarantee to protect investors against defaults and currency fluctuations. Then there's a whole new potential for the business and a whole new series of ideas from the visionary founder for the next level of growth. From bringing in more international lenders beyond Denmark to adding in click-through with online shopping where people can support the businesses they buy from, to doing local MyC4s, for example in Southern Africa.
If you ask me now, Matt, what have you reflected on when you talk with us and we do this? Then I think, cut the crap, I'm the CEO of this thing, give me the right people and the money to run it, and we'll do it. And I would like to have you in my advisory board to continue to support me and help me and give me direction and honest feedback, but also be part of the solution.
So he said he wants to do it. Is that going to be the case? Is he going to come to London with real passion and clarity around the ask, around what he is going to achieve in these next 18 months, to make the alliances he needs to take it out? There he is. There is Matt going off in the Porsche with the Ray-Bans on. I think he's going to do it. Last year's World Challenge featured an invention that can make hot water in less than 10 seconds on a normal stove, killing germs and saving energy and carbon. It's these multiple benefits that makes me think it's got enormous potential. It's called a Jompy, and demonstrations in the slums of Nairobi last year quickly drew enthusiastic crowds.
A brilliant idea. I love it.
It's the brainchild of David Osborne, a Scottish inventor and heating engineer who saw firsthand the need for clean drinking water on a trip to Africa.
This view is stuck in my mind for 2 years because this is what gave me the determination to do what I do. If we can help even just a very small part of these communities who use solid fuel to heat their water, it's tremendous the amount of people we can help in a very short space of time.
A businessman in Namibia who saw the Jompy on World Challenge put in an order for 1,000 of them, but it still hasn't taken off on the scale David hoped. And I'm here in Troon, Scotland, a long way from the Kjaer slums of Nairobi. And it's Troon that's the birthplace of the Jompy, invented by David Osborne behind me. Is he the next Logie Baird? Is he the next Edison? Is this an invention that is going to change the lives of millions of people?
Having something like this would save you around 60% of your fuel, your time, your exposure, to wood smoke.
We want to make a difference. I love to leave a legacy behind me.
Yep.
And this hopefully will be my legacy. So when I'm gone, people will remember me not as an engineer, but as the guy that made this.
David is a serial inventor, but to aid agencies, he's an outsider, and he's had trouble getting through to them. Faced with that, he's exploring other markets. The market that you reckon is growing the fastest, and the one that you want to focus on, is it retail, is it government, is it aid agencies?
Retail.
It's retail.
Governments have their times, they have to take their time to do things, because they can't just, no one person can decide on what happens, so we respect that. So governments have to be exposed, there has to be retail sales to be visible to the government.
So
gotcha.
the retail has to take place first.
Over the life cycle of the Jompy, talk me through, give me some of the numbers, because I know you've done some of this.
We had a carbon report done by Glasgow University. This product will save 26.5 tonnes of carbon.
Scotland has a proud history of inventors celebrated on these gates, but many never saw their inventions succeed in the mass market. I want to help David make the most of this window of opportunity. This is it's a liberating tool in a way, and you can see its potential impact on the lives of people in African slums, on just making life easier for whole sections of the market here. How do you take this product, match it to the demand that's there, and turn this sample into a viable and growing business? David and his wife Kjaer have 2 other business partners in the venture, so we go to meet Financial Director Keith White. The signs are encouraging. A distributor aiming at the South African government has ordered 1,000 samples, but it became clear that there are different expectations of the potential market. Have you got any 3 years from now? What will the annual sales of Jompys be? 3 years from now. Independent answers, no conferring. Sales per year, 3 years from now. Numbers of units. 500,000 a year from Kjaer. 600,000 from Dave. And you want to give your figure?
2 to 3 million units, I reckon, in 3 years' time. From what I see and the different markets that are there, I think that is highly achievable. To have a $20 to $30 million turnover company.
So the company's future rests on the retail camping market. I want to test this on the high street.
What on earth are you doing?
Dave, why don't you show this gentleman?
It's time for the water through. Once the water starts to flow through the handle, put it on. Instantly you've got hot water. Why don't you have all your hot water in your pan in the first place?
It's time to change our marketing strategy. We need some beans. So we're cooking beans, and by magic we're producing hot water as we're cooking the beans. Yes.
That's the bean starting to bubble, so you know your food's cooking as well as the water's boiling.
When I was fishing, it'd be like ideal for breakfast. Then, as you say, that instant hot water.
It takes like seconds.
So is he onto something? Has he got a good idea here?
Yeah.
We managed to interest someone from the nearby camping shop. But even in the camping market, it's not exactly a clear seller.
Roasted.
And this little red tab goes white.
Right.
It reaches 80 degrees centigrade.
Would it be something that would sell in the store?
Some of the stores, I think, yeah, because I think it's just the way it's built. Probably, I think a lot of folk need to understand it first.
I'm still unconvinced. Are they trying to force product into a market it wasn't designed for, rather than make it work in the market that needs it? I think they're being sidetracked. And what's the legacy David wants? A slightly quicker cup of tea for UK campers. It's clear the Jompy is at a turning point. They tried and failed once with the development community. Are they going to go off course now with retail campers? Or are they going to focus on the original mission and come up with a new approach that this time will work? If you're going to deliver on that legacy, what's the one market that you've really got to crack?
I would say the developing markets. Stroke aid agency markets.
So you've got this really crucial step happening with the South African government putting in an order, a big order. If you get the South African government to be on your side, doing your marketing for you, saying this has saved water, this has saved carbon, this is health impacts, health costs, if you can get academically validated data, which they are promoting on your behalf, then you're in business.
No, that was very helpful. I appreciate that.
I appreciate the time you spent. There's 2 ways London can go. One is David comes, makes a great demo, cooks some beans, produces some water, everyone goes great. The other is he does that and he translates that into success for the missions of the people in the row. In order to roll out this tool that has the potential to bring independence to so many, will Dave be prepared to lose some independence of his own? Will he learn the language and how to fit with the goals of the development organisations? The thing he's missing is hardcore data, so that he can slam it down and make a case very clearly. This is going to save water, this is going to save energy, this is going to save lives, this is going to reduce health costs. he's got to get that number on each of those Millennium Development Goals independently verified, validated, and then it's a no-brainer. And then he can find the corporate sponsors, he can find the NGO sponsors, he can find the government sponsors to help support them and get it out to market. Next, a model that's spreading from Paraguay around the world. A school with a difference. It's free. The students run micro-businesses that pay for their fees. And in India's poorest state, one man's vision to bring power to 5 million without electricity.